Welcome guys to another video on NIKKE Goddess of Victory. It is no surprise that people are kind of upset with how Red Hood turned out. People are calling her mid, people are calling her trash, but I've got to say she's actually not that bad. However, let's not get it wrong, she is still kind of disappointing. We saw something during the live stream for the JP version, but we got something different, and obviously they did say at the bottom of the video, subject to change or something like that. So they kind of cover themselves, and they cover themselves in terms of like legal reasons, because the Red Hood we got compared to the one they showed during the live stream is definitely very different, and we basically lost out on damage. And right now the Red Hood we have isn't that great for damage. Well, she is good for damage, but she's not the best for damage. She is not the best for support, I guess, and she's not the best for defense. So she's like I think people call her the jack of all trades or something like that, but master of none, which actually in NIKKE isn't that good, because if you have some of the top tier characters in game, you will probably not be using Red Hood. I think even if I pull her, I probably won't use her. However, in some content where there's like you can build multiple teams, use multiple characters, Red Hood will be used because she does have great damage against bosses with parts. However, it doesn't take away from the fact that people are disappointed with Red Hood. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about why people are disappointed with Red Hood, if the devs are going to buff up Red Hood, because let's not forget, this is an anniversary character. I can't lie, having an anniversary character just be good and not the best isn't making sense to me, because if you take a look at any other games with like anniversary characters, they are always either top 5 or like top 3. Maybe not the best in the game, but always bring something new, which Red Hood does. But that new stuff always is something that is great. In fact, I feel like what she has with the ability to burst as a burst 1, burst 2 and burst 3 kind of works like a gimmick now, a gimmick that doesn't seem that broken, because the burst 1 is definitely good because the buffing of the buffing she provides is actually very good. Burst 2 is absolutely garbage because it basically taunts, and honestly a character that taunts but doesn't do anything else in regards to mitigating the damage done to her is instantly going to get wiped off the face of the earth, so she dies if you use the burst 2. And for burst 3, honestly the damage just kind of scales a little bit down, but I have seen some testing where her damage is good, and I've seen some testing where her damage isn't that great. But at the end of the day, I still think they need to do something with Red Hood in regards to buffing her just a bit in regards to the burst 3, or maybe change the burst 2, because obviously having the taunt is decent in terms of if you want to have taunt, have something else to help the character out in terms of surviving, not just healing. So if they could change that up, that would be fantastic. But the disappointment is real. The disappointment is real, because if you go over to any post regarding Red Hood, you will always see people talking about the need to buff her up. Now, I've actually recently noticed that 2 other content creators have made a video talking about her and saying how she's not mid and whatnot, which I totally agree, she's not mid. There's another content creator, I've forgotten his name, but he's done a bunch of testing, so you can go ahead and check him out to see the full details regarding Red Hood. But for a pilgrim character with the lowest rate possible in the game, 1%, is Red Hood living up to the hype? Is Red Hood living up to that pilgrim name? I am not sure people will agree she is. I think in terms of pilgrim, she definitely lives up to the hype because she does something unique with the ability to burst, like with 1, 2 and 3. However, the damage is not that great, and that's where the problem is. Not that great, sorry, but like there's other great damage dealers in the game. I don't have Red Hood myself, so I can't actually test it out, but from all the testing I've seen and all the damage comparisons, I still think Alice is a better character than her, by slightly better than her. And I think Modernia is better than her. I think Scarlet is better than her for damage. I think A2 is, I feel like if I was to put Red Hood in a tier, it would probably be like S. Okay, like you know how Pridewind does theirs, like SS and an SS for early, late game bosses, bosses. I would think for Red Hood it would be like SSSS. No, it would be like S for story, S for late game, and for bosses it will probably be double S. For bosses added will probably double S, and for PvP I haven't actually seen anything for PvP, so I can't make any comments on that. So as you can see, she is just not as good as some of the other top tier characters we have in game. As you can see, most of them are triple S tier in the content, and they have like one stage where, or one content when they're not the best. But still, taking a look at her, she kind of falls a little bit shorter compared to other characters in the game, and that's where the problem is, and that's why many people are disappointed with her. So where you can see people talk about needing buff for Red Hood is over here, because let's not, the burst 3, they definitely nerfed the damages a bit. So yeah, please buff Red Hood. As expected, a sharp decrease of 60% of a unit's multiplier made her damage extremely bad. Okay, a bit extreme. It's not extremely bad, it's not the best in the game. Honestly, I don't even get why the damage is lowered at all. Alice didn't have to go through this hell despite being about on par without the multiplier nerf. Don't really get that. But if you see over here, this is not actually a fair comparison, as you can see with the power scaling. So Modernia over here has 42k, Red Hood only has 31k, and the Scarlet has 41k. So obviously those two are going to deal more damage than Red Hood, but I still think Red Hood should be dealing about 30 million, 40 million in damage. Actually no, even okay, if Modernia is dealing 74, I want Red Hood to at least do 50 million. I think that would be expected or acceptable. So yeah, people are definitely not really liking how she is right now. She is by no means a mid character or a bad character, she is just not living up to the hype. Several factors to that. Obviously, like I said, the live stream just showing us a different one was kind of bad for the, in the parts of like showcasing her. They probably just wanted to showcase the animations, but even then, obviously the community is going to try and analyze the damage from the video, and the damage there was 10 times better. Oh yeah, we do have one fair comparison over here with like the damages over here. So Dorothy 24k in terms of power level, and then Red Hood 21k, and as you can see, it's relatively all the same. And Red Hood actually did kind of a better damage, sorry, than Modernia and Dorothy, which was good to see. Even though Modernia over here has probably more power than the Red Hood, but I still would say that Red Hood is kind of inconsistent. So this boss was against Chatterbot, right? Yeah, Chatterbox. So Chatterbox is the one with multiple parts, right? So I feel like if you want to break the parts as fast as possible, Red Hood will be the character to do that. But even then, it will just be safer to use Modernia, Scarlet. In terms of like team building, would you be using Red Hood? I don't think the answer would be yes, especially if you've been playing since day one and you have majority of the best characters in the game. You probably have Alice, you probably have actually no, you probably don't have Modernia if you weren't there since the beginning. You don't have Scarlet probably, but like there's also like good damage dealers over here. I need to test her out. I would not say Red Hood is a bad character, but the video still stands. She is a disappointing character to the majority of players. People are saying she's top 10, but even then, like multiple content in NIKKE does not require you to have multiple best damage dealers unless you're doing solo raid, literally, or union raid. That's the only two places where you would actually require multiple teams, and even then I don't think many people really bother because Wells will always win. But hey, having another great damage or good damage dealer would be nice to have. But I feel like as long as I have 2B, I have Drake, I have Privity, I have Summer Anis, I have A2, Haran. I probably won't use Haran though, I'm not gonna lie. I don't have Scarlet. So yes, I'm still Scarlet. Let's flip the summons. I have Alice, I have Modernia, I have Noir. I probably will use all of them before I use Red Hood. That's my issue. But like I said, if the bosses has multiple parts, then I will definitely use Red Hood. So yeah, she is disappointing. The community has spoken. Would they buff her up? I do think they should buff her up, because having a negative connotation around your anniversary character is not going to do you justice in terms of getting people to actually spend in your game. A lot of people are going to talk about how Red Hood was a little bit disappointing, and therefore many people will think, okay, there's no reason for me to try and core 7 her, because honestly, anniversary is the time for you to blow all your money. Literally, for any gacha games or your popular gacha games, anniversary is the time where you want to spend as much as possible, because the character that gets released is usually the best or one of the best, and obviously the banner is usually better as well. However, in NIKKE, the banner is not technically better. The rates are lower for Red Hood, so no incentive for that. And now that we have a confirmation that Red Hood is not the best in the game, now people are going to say, okay, there's no reason for me to go balls deep for this character. So yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. And in fact, I'm not even aiming for Red Hood, I'm aiming for Scarlet. And I feel like that's probably why it got shafted. Red Hood realized that, yo, you're not even summoning for me, and you want to get good luck, screw you. And then the game gave me shaft after shaft. So yeah, maybe next time when I go into banners, I should not just aim for Scarlet and always ignore the character there and be like, yo, I want you, baby, come to my account. Oh, this is funny. Okay, we do have a new mission though on this account, and that is to get Scarlet before Ziox, because why not? Let's do that, guys. Let's do that. I find it funny that we're both struggling to get Scarlet, and our summons for anniversary are both garbage. And yeah, it would be better if I get Scarlet before him. Don't you guys think so? Wish me luck as I carry on summoning, and hopefully you guys can stay tuned for that video where I got Scarlet and I'm no longer Scarletless. It would be extremely exciting. Anyways, hopefully you guys like this video. Stay tuned for more content on NIKKE, Goddess of Victory. I have a lot of videos planned out for the anniversary. We're going to be taking a look at potentially new Pilgrim characters coming out in the game. I will be talking about the new mini game, which a lot of people actually hate because it takes too long. So we will talk about that later on. It's been your boy AC Gamer. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm out.